Greetings, Reggae Bits and Pieces family. My guest today is Tammy. She lives in Manchester, Jamaica, and she'll be talking about her experience before and after Hurricane Melissa, which devastated Jamaica on October 28th, 2025. Hi, Tammy. Welcome to Reggae Bits and Pieces.
Good afternoon, Delit. Thanks for having me. It's nice
It's
to be
my
here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, Tammy. It's my pleasure.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me, what was it like leading up to Hurricane Melissa?
So, leading up to Hurricane Melissa, it was an exhausting experience at first because it took a long while. They were telling us about this storm coming for over a week, and then you had to buy up candles and food and stuff like that. Some people ate out the food before the storm even reached. But leading up to the hurricane, we were anticipating it because the because the reporters from abroad came here and they're reporting that we must leave the island and stuff like that. So we were expecting a very serious storm.
Were you nervous? Leading up to
Yes,
it.
I was nervous because when we had Hurricane Beryl, I wasn't as nervous as this one because this one now they were telling us to, as they told us in many other hurricanes. But as I said before, the reporters came and many people were insinuating a lot of stuff. So I was nervous because they said that this one was going to come with high wind speed, and my house is a board house. And I was thinking that, what if trees fell on it and it was me and my daughter alone? So I was kind of nervous due to the fact of where I was living, of where I'm
And the other
living.
people, yeah, and I'm assuming the other people around you too were probably felt the same way.
Well, probably just my neighbor that is living in front of me now, because most of the others, they have deck roof and stuff, and they are proud
Oh,
people, so they weren't
oh,
really nervous as my neighbor and I. But there was one good neighbor that I had. He's my daughter, godfather, and he came. He came because my daughter and I know we only live by ourselves. And most people were buttoning up and strapping down. I didn't have anybody to do that for me. But God
mhm.
sent this gentleman and he came, and even though the house top is still strapped down, because he came and secured the roof for me around the back there. So when he came and did that, I felt a little bit more comfortable, because the zinc were lifting from the back. So I know that if he didn't come and strap down the roof, then the roof would have gone because of the wind.
Oh, okay. How did the hurricane affect you personally?
Well, I want to tell you that it didn't affect me much. I won't lie based upon what I've seen. We didn't have any electricity for maybe 2 weeks. We got back the water in space of a week. The storm didn't affect me. I still have my roof and stuff. It didn't affect me.
So okay, like the roof now, Tammy, although the man tied it down for you, did it kind of like feel like it was gonna blow off? What was the sound like?
Well, the sound, what the sound, I don't know how to describe this sound, because the hurricane came in the day. I was sitting right at this doorway here watching it because it came in the day. The sound was awful. It was like a whistling sound.
Mm.
Ooh, whistling sound. And then you can hear it coming from a distance before it reached where I'm at, the whistling sound.
Wow. It's howling, right?
Yeah, like a howling sound, yes, howling.
I can imagine.
But
Wow.
And after the storm, the hillside was brown, very,
Oh,
very brown. Yeah, like when I burned down the hillside, that was how it was looking. Even the ackee tree in my yard, it was also brown. The leaves were brown. The leaves got brown. I can't show you, but it's not any brown. It's not brown anymore. But the leaves, like they were burnt up. All the trees around, like the trees were burnt up.
oh, wow.
Hmm. Yeah,
I can just imagine.
yes, it was horrible. But as I can say, I was nervous before the hurricane came because of the structure that I'm living in. But once the gentleman came and strapped it down, and then my neighbor's son he had came over before and put some blocks on the top. And because
Hmm.
I'm a firm believer in God, I just leave the rest to God. Thanks be to God, the storm came and it didn't do me any damage. I won't lie. It didn't
Wow.
do me any damage, and for that, I'm super grateful because it did a lot of people. Even though people are still homeless, still without electricity, still without water.
In your
I have
area?
kids. No, not in my area now. My area, as I said before, the storm hasn't affected us on this side.
Okay.
It hasn't, apart from the electricity going away and the water, it hasn't affected us because in burial, it was more devastating than this Melissa one here on our side.
Wow. And Beryl was a category 4.
And burial was a category 4. When burial came, we had fallen trees, light posts falling, wires tear down and all of those stuff. This one we didn't have much of that. Maybe one falling light post, but on my side, no damages was done.
So when the hurricane was going, Tammy, were you able to look out through a window or anything like that?
I was sitting at my doorway. I was sitting at
What?
my bedroom doorway with the door open. Yes, I was sitting there looking. Yes, I'm wondering if I had to run, where would I go? But I was right at my doorway watching it, watching the
Wow.
trees bending down like they want to go bend down to the ground and everything. My daughter and I, because it came in the day.
Wow. So when the eye hit, you were still sitting at the doorway?
Yes, I was right there, right through. At one point after they said that the storm passed, I went outside and I went to walk and come back. But it's a good thing when I came back, it was a good thing I came back at that time because the aftermath was terrible.
Okay, tell us about that. The aftermath.
The- I think the aftermath was worse than the hurricane itself, believe. Because after the hurricane passed and in the night with the rain and the winds, I was saying, but they said that the hurricane passed already. It was much more terrible, much more howling of the wind and the rain and stuff. And then say light gone, so that more frightening because I pure darkness and not seeing anything, you only hearing. My friend have a
Wow.
shop over here, couple zinc fly off of the shop, even though she not put them up back yet. But it wasn't anything tragic on this side, as I said before.
You're blessed, man. You're blessed.
Yes, we are. We are, and that is why I cannot lie. Some people would come up and lie.
Yeah.
You cannot do that because, as I said before, up until now, you have people still displaced, they don't have any homes, and they are going through a lot of stuff. I am going through stuff, but as it relates to the hurricane, it didn't do me any damage.
And schools. How soon? I mean,
Yeah.
how soon could the kids in your area go back to school? Like a week after, 2 weeks? How soon?
Yes, they are back in school. 2 weeks after the hurricane, they are back in school. They are back.
Wow.
The shelters are free. As I said, nothing happened in my area. Um, Tragically, nothing happened. It was as if rain fall and we start over back, comparing to what happened in other places
Yeah, like Salve,
like St.
Trelawney.
Elizabeth, Trelawney, Hanover, Westmoreland. I haven't been to those places, but based upon what I'm hearing, it is very bad, very very bad.
Yeah, yeah, wow. So I get when people hear you talking and saying this, they're going to be like, "Wow, she's in Manchester and nothing much in her area,
Nothing
compared to
much
other parts."
comparing to other places where people have to have tarpaulin for their roofs now, and all the devastating things that they're facing. I wouldn't sit here and lie because other people out there going through this stuff, and if I sit here and lie, God I go beat me, so I can't sit here and lie as it relates to the hurricane.
Okay. Um, what advice would you give anybody, Tammy, persons who have never experienced a hurricane? Why
um I laugh because when I was telling my daughter about hurricane, she experienced her first hurricane in Hurricane Beryl, and she took it for a joke. And now when she experienced Beryl, when this one came, she was like, even when we were waiting like a week before the hurricane came, she was like, "Mommy, I'm not going to take this for a joke because when Beryl was coming, I was joking and saying nothing was coming and blah blah blah. But she took this one serious. If I could give somebody a advice, I would just tell them to make the necessary precaution when they put it out in the media because we never know. And we're living in a time of climate change. We never know what to expect. So it's better to be prepared than unprepared. So you catch up the water, you store up your kerosene, whatever it is you have to store to get your light and whatever you need after the storm. It's better to be prepared,
Yeah,
although we
but
can be prepared still.
yeah, it's interesting what you said. Your daughter said though, because Beryl um was actually in July of 2024, and see, Melissa came almost what, a year after. So I'm glad that she actually took it seriously. Yeah,
Internet issues.
yeah. No, I was saying that Beryl was in July 2024, and
Yeah,
I'm glad your daughter decided to take Melissa seriously because you see, soon after Beryl came, pretty much Melissa was right there
right.
a year later.
A year later, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, a year or so later. So, all right.
Yeah, a year later.
Yeah. Do you have any thing else you want to say about the hurricane?
This hurricane, all I have to say about it, this one this one was a very devastating hurricane. I hope we never see another one like this. I hope we will never experience another one like this one. That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of relief, is coming into the island, and a lot of shows. They're having a lot
A
of
lot of
shows.
A lot of relief is coming into the island. That's another different story because the reliefs are coming, but yet we still have people in despair positions. They're not getting the relief because most people are going to the areas where the spotlights are. For instance, you have a town like Black River. Most people
Hmm.
are heading into Black River town, but they are not going into the turnoffs. They're not going into the other districts. So there are still people out here who haven't gotten a care package up till now. There are people out here, if it hadn't been for regular people, they wouldn't have gotten anything. They
Wow.
wouldn't have
You
gotten
know,
anything.
go ahead.
Yeah, so it's like the aid is coming into the country, but it is not going into the right person's hand. Therefore, the smaller people are not getting any of it. And it is sad, very, very sad. Because imagine going through a hurricane, you work so hard to build your house, you work so hard to build a business, buy a vehicle, and then a hurricane come and take everything away from you. What are you going to start from with if you're not getting aid or if you're not getting help from family? What are you going to start from? You're going to expect the government to help, and the government is not doing as much as we think he could have or he should have been doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's sad because people are suffering.
People are suffering. People really, really are suffering. I on this, and I wish if I had it to help, especially the older people and the babies and stuff like that. They are deeply in need now. They're saying Christmas is coming. How can we celebrate Christmas when there are others out there who doesn't even have a home?
Yeah,
What are they going to celebrate?
yeah,
What
that's
are we
hard.
going to celebrate? It's really sad, you know. As I said, I wasn't affected by the hurricane, but I still sympathize with those who got affected. I think about them daily. I wonder how they will survive, and this is why I wouldn't sit and lie. I still have to give thanks that my roof didn't go, because I could have been like one of those person in St. Elizabeth or Westmoreland or one of those affected areas.
Yeah, yeah, you're blessed because, like you said, if it had come your way, more than likely you'd have lost your house.
Yeah, I would have, no joke, I would have, because my house are dry weather house. I'm not gonna lose it.
Yeah. Wow.
You know what is dry weather house?
Oh yes, I do. I do. I do.
Okay, okay.
You might want to tell my audience because not maybe not everybody know what
Oh, so dry weather house is it is good for the dry time, but when it like a hurricane or a storm, it's not good because the structure is weak. So we
Yeah,
call it dry weather house. Yeah.
yeah. I'm glad you were spared though, you know.
I am super glad, me say. Whenever time I think about complaining when the light was gone, when I think about complaining, say, Lord, no one light. Every time I think about it, something snap in my head. Remember that there are people who doesn't have any home, and then I'll just have to don't worry to complain.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sorry about the other people because I've been looking at some other things on social media, and people are actually regular people are actually now going inside, off the beaten path. They're actually going
Yes,
in and not on the main because they're like, people on the main they're there, so they're getting stuff, and the old people and kids and stuff can't come out. The younger kids and stuff
ex-
can't come out, and women can't come out, so they're going
exactly.
to them.
So if they're going into those areas, I would be super happy. I would be super happy for those people, because trust me, it is not nice when you are in need and you don't know where to turn. It
Yeah.
is it is it is not nice. So if they can get the help, God bless those people who are aiding them, because they really need it.
I saw this guy. It was actually a guy. I mean, I've seen others, but this one in particular. And he said he had an
Mhm.
idea. He said, "You know what? Let me get some packages for women and put
Yes,
feminine products in there." And
yes.
he did that. I forgot how many, over 100, I think. And he actually
I
went inside.
I think it's this guy by the name of such and such homemade something such and such something.
Right.
He
Yeah.
has, he has been doing a wonderful job. And you know what? He lost his house as well, you know.
Yeah.
He
No, I
lost,
saw. I saw.
yes, he lost everything that he had. But you see, some of us are here to serve, and he's one of them.
Yeah, I saw.
He's one of them, because even in the midst of his storm, he's out there doing the best he can, because he knows what it feels like. And we have to give God thanks for people like those.
Yeah. 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 So, um, all right. Well, like I said before, I'm glad that you're spared, and I'm sorry that the other persons were not, in the sense of damage and so on.
Yeah.
But I know you're on social media, Tammy. Where can people find you on TikTok? You want to give us your handle?
Okay, so my TikTok page is Scorpio underscore babe 41, or you could type in Psalms 35. on TikTok.
Reggae Bits and Pieces family, go and follow her because she's an interesting person to listen to and she's fun as well. All right, Tammy, thank you so much for telling us about your experience before and after Hurricane Melissa. Jamaica will build back, and together we're stronger.
Yes, we shall rise. Thank you, Dilip, for having me. It was very nice being here.
Thank you and walk good.
Same to you.
Thanks.
It's your girl Birdseye, and you're tuned into Reggae Bites and Pieces. One love, yeah.
Bad man, son.